here in my gym, CrossFit Lubbock. We're going to go over the muscle up and our first of hopefully many video series on different movements. And so we're going to go over the muscle up first. I'm going to demo a couple of good ones, and then we're going to go through a few faults and then a few ways to modify if you're not quite there yet. So first, just a few good muscle ups. So, a big deal at first is getting that swing down. So a lot of people kind of mess up the swing. Swing we want to do is create a hinge in our hips. And if you're staying straight the whole time, you don't really give your hips an opportunity to extend. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So, good swing is going to look like this. I always want straight legs. Tight at the back, so I'm not doing this big, wild swing back here, but I'm also not keeping my hips perfectly straight. Doing this. You might notice if my hips are perfectly straight, again, I'm not going to have any sort of thing to open toward the rings. Give me any sort of momentum. Okay, we're gonna talk about 3 more faults. These affect the turnover more so. So now we're moving away from that swing. Hopefully we got that down. So we're gonna move to the turnover, okay? So the first thing is missing your hip extension. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a bad rep followed by a good rep. What we're going to talk about is where you wait too long to pull. So it's kind of counterintuitive. You've been doing CrossFit for a little while, you get used to, really getting good at using your hips or using your knees, using that kip to propel you up, not pulling too early. The muscle up's going to be a bit different. We actually want a slight early elbow so that we can angle ourselves properly. If you wait too long, it can really throw off that turnover. So I'll show you bad rep followed by good rep. The elbows flaring out rather than coming into my sides. This one's kind of subtle. It's really hard to see unless you slow down someone's video. But we're looking at elbows doing this rather than elbows coming here. So I'll show you bad and good. We're going to talk about a couple of scales. Now, if you're not quite there yet on the Kipping Muscle-up, we're going to talk about a few different options for you. So jumping muscle-up is going to be great. This is assuming that you have a ring dip. So if you don't have ring dips yet, this is not appropriate scale. But if you do, talk about the jumping muscle-up. And really, we're looking for the same kind of angle of the rings. They're going toward my belly button, and then I'm turning over rather than coming straight through. So I'll show you a good rep, followed by a couple of faults, and then another good rep. So I'm going to dip down, lean back as if I'm coming up and over those rings. Okay, so that's good. One fault is I'm going to come straight through the rings. So I'm going to just dip like this and do that. Okay. The reason that's no good is you're not ever going to be able to get a muscle up like that. You have to come back and over the rings. Another fault is skipping that dip completely, right? So I get a really big jump, and then I just turn and push. And if you're still working on your first muscle up, you're not going to be able to get one like that. So it looks like this. So it's 2 movements. Jump over, hip up. Next we're going to do is called a banded muscle up. This is nice because it's going to guide my hips through that transition. And I'm going to show you a good rep and then kind of some faults and then how to set it up, of course. So you're going to tie that band to the ring. Just lay it across the other ring. Put your hands on top of the band, obviously. This is famous for whipping people in the butt. So press down hard. Once I get my hands placed where I need them, I'm gonna hop my butt into that band. So I'm sitting with my hips in kind of this L position. This is where I wanna be. Okay, this is a good starting point. From here, again, like I said, the band guides my hips where they need to go. So where the band's pulling, that's where my hips are going. So I'm gonna drive my hips toward the rings, turn over. From here, if you have a dip, then do your dip. If you don't, then you can use your feet to hop to that ring support. So common fault, this is the one I see the most, is where I'm gonna start already extended, right? So again, I have nowhere to send my hips. So what ends up happening is I just do this. Right, so it's just kind of this dead muscle up that you're not gonna get on the rings unless you're insanely strong. Another one is similar to the jumping muscle up where I'm just gonna pull myself all the way up to the top of that dip. Okay, what I wanna see, again, is 2 separate movements. I'm gonna get my hips driving up, turn over, ring bottom, ring support.
Hope that was helpful, guys. We'll have more of these coming up. The next one is going to be on barbell cycling. Leave me any comments if you have any more questions about the muscle up or if you want to see any other movements throughout our movement series. All right, thanks. Bye.
Okay, so the next one is a banded muscle up. Can't do that to me. Video. Camerawoman, come on. Next. Okay. Okay, so that's good. One fault is I'm back. One fault is wait too long.